for that connection.
Yeah. Exactly.
But sometimes we yearn, as the flesh, we yearn for the wrong relationships instead of just being in Him.
Mm-hmm. And here's the good news about being in a relationship and really getting ourselves absorbed in Him. Because when we get so absorbed in Him, anything that concerns us concerns Him.
Right. Yes. Yes.
It's just like, how many parents in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you know your child wants something so bad, what does it do to your heart? You be trying to figure out, how can I get this for my baby? You might not have no money, but your brain is twirling, trying to figure out, what can I do? Because my baby really, really wants that. Is it because they've been perfect little angels?
No, no.
But you don't deprive them, do you? Why? Because you love them. Yeah. That's part of you.
It's gonna make them smile.
So here we are, made in the image. See, wait. I'm a made in the image. J-Ben. Made in the image.
Baby.
Daddy.
Just like
Yeah. See?
Oh yeah.
When you look at them, it's a reflection.
Yeah, that's right.
And what you say?
Just look at that.
So if my sister don't look like you.
It's something about that baby that's like you.
Thank you.
You see how endearing you are to your children? God looks at all of us. Look at my children.
Yeah.
He probably has some good funny days too, looking at his children.
Yeah.
But when he get finished laughing, that's my child. She's hurting. And sometimes he'll say, just like we tell our kids, I've told you to stop running. You keep running and running into the wall. And then you come back to me with a bump on your head. You wouldn't have the bump on your head if you stopped running. Our Father keeps telling us the same thing. And most of the time, I don't know if ever, have y'all ever considered that type of relationship with God? Have you? I'm just asking a question now. Because I think sometimes people don't see God like that. They see God as extremely abstract, out there somewhere. I know He's there and all of that, but He's not like right here. And maybe that's why we don't have that deep, high regard or adoration or veneration for Him. And I guess I do. I see Him like right here.
Figure, like a dad. That's how you talk.
That's my Father.
Yeah.
When I'm crying and I'm hurt because somebody has said something, I can't. Sometimes I just sit there. Now, I've grown up a little bit, but during my baby days, I'd be sitting in the crying. God, why? I ain't did nothing to nobody. Why? And I'm talking to God.
Yeah.
And that's where I get my comfort from. God is saying, I want to be to you everything you need me to be. But all I'm asking for you to just submit yourself to me and allow me to fill you up with my grace, fill you up with my love, fill you up with all that I have for you.
Yeah.
But in those postures of adoration comes humility and submission. I've talked about when we were talking about praise and lifting of hands. Lifting of hands is an act of surrenderance, letting go of control.
Oh. Get 'em.
Letting go of control of situation. See, we sometimes can become control freaks over our own lives, not knowing that our life, all of our times in our life is in His hand. If we could ever just get ingrained, and I think by the time y'all keep on listening to me, I think y'all gonna have Romans 8:28 down pat. Anybody know what it says? Romans 8:28.
For we know.
For we know what? What do we know?
That all things work together for the good of them that love Him and are called according to His purpose.
Now, got to make sure that you love him. Or else that scripture don't mean nothing to you.
Yeah, it ain't for everybody, bro.
You got to make sure that you really love him. Beyond boyfriend. Above mama. Above daddy. Above husband. Above wife. Love God. Let me tell you something. Even in a husband and wife relationship, you need to love God first. Wives, then love your husband. Love God first. Because even in marriage, and things may not go the way you want them to go, if you keep your focus on the fact that I love God and I want to please God, whatever is not going right, you can go back to God because God is the creator of your husband.
Right.
Can't nobody work on your husband like God can.
Yeah.
You keep your mouth and let God work on him. God made him. He knows how to get his attention in his sleep.
Boy, does he.
Oh, y'all on here.
Yes.
Don't worry. Keep your focus on you pleasing God.
Yes, Lord.
And then being the wife God called you to be. Now, that's another lesson. We're not right on that, right? But guess what? All of that is in worship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Husbands, the Bible commanded you to love your wife. How much? Even as Christ loved the church. That's some heavy love. That's some deep love. And then when things don't go right back to Romans 8:28.
That's it.
For we know that all things work together. See, God in his sovereignty, y'all know what sovereignty means?
Knowing it all.
Kind of. What else? Anybody else? Got any idea?
He's governing the whole.
He's over it all, but he does what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. It may not fit into our little nice little neatly packaged plan. But then we go right back to what? Romans 8:28. It ain't fitting in my plan, but God is sovereign, so he knows more about this situation than I can ever imagine. He knows what his will and his plan is for everybody else in my world. So I'm just going to trust him that it's all working for my good. I may not understand it for 10 years after it's all over.
Yeah.
And I may not even understand it in this life. But see, that's where that relationship level comes. If you got an intimate relationship with him and you've studied enough about who God is and how he works, then you just say, well, Lord, I'm just going to fall back on you. Because I sure don't understand this at all. But the hymn writer said, but we'll understand it better by and by.
Yeah.
By and by when the morning comes.
Yes, Lord.
But while I'm in this life, even if I don't understand it, God says, I'll make everything that looked like it was going to be topsy-turvy for your life because of this particular event. I'll straighten it all out and you'll look back and say, my God, how I got over.
Yeah.
I'm all right now, but I had to trust God. Whew. Gosh, this is good. All right, let me give you this last little bit and then we're about to, because I really don't intend to keep us till 8 o'clock. So let me give you this last time. Another part of that position is bending down or bending over to the Lord as another part of submission to God and as a pattern of our life. But this is the one thing that I really like, and I think y'all need to write this down. There are 3 things that are essential requirements for acceptable worship. And here are the 3 things. And this is what we come out of the Old Testament with.
Wait, 3 essential requirements?
That requirements for acceptable worship. 1 is faith. 2 is gratitude. And 3 is obedience.
Get 'em.
Boy. Yeah.
1 is faith for acceptable worship.
Wow.
You got to believe that God is. 2 is gratitude. Be thankful for all things. Not for all things, in all things. Let me straighten that out.
Yeah.
It's not thankful for all things. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in all things. It might be bad things. It might be painful things. It might be crushing things. It may be things that you think you can't bear. But let me tell you something. If you in it, God knows you can take it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be a hard pill. And then the third thing is obedience. If you have those 3 essential requirements, you can have acceptable worship. Because faith, gratitude, and obedience will operate throughout your life when you ain't in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
When you're not in the service where the music is just right. When the band is playing real good. And when somebody's up in front of you saying, come on, everybody lift your hands. Faith, gratitude, and obedience. It'll operate and work for you to develop and increase your level of integrity.
Say that again.
Yes, please.
Okay, I don't remember what I said. Y'all catch stuff as I said. I ain't got that written down.
These 3 things will increase our integrity.
It will develop and increase your level of integrity. Somebody look up integrity. I know we all got an idea, but I want to hear some detailed definition. Find that on there for me. My God. See, people don't even think about worship and relating it to integrity. But it does.
All things work together.
Honesty, sincerity, wholeness is what I have in mind.
Say it again. Honesty.
Honesty, sincerity, and wholeness.
All right. Honesty, sincerity, and wholeness. Now, all of that has to do with worship. What, do you have something else, a little bit more over there?
I know you're wrong.
I know, that's like, what you got?
Integrity is a concept of consistency of actions, values, methods.
Okay, wait, because that first word that starts with
Again, we
C.
just talked about that.
Consistency of what?
Actions,
Consistency of action,
values, methods, measures, principles, expectations,
and
outcomes.
outcomes.
That's what I understood it to be, because that I always heard someone say a thief has integrity. He's consistently stealing
Based on his values.
based on what he's
Principles
doing.
of what?
But now,
Expectations.
let's apply that integrity to the word. Because our value is not the world's value.
With the people.
See? Our values should be consistent with God's values.
Expectations and outcomes.
And let me say this to make it very clear, darlings. God's values don't look nothing like the world's values. Because the world is cutthroat. Dog eat dog. If I'm the bigger dog, too bad for you. That's not the values that we have in the Word. And always, remember always, test everything by the Word. Worship will develop. Why do you think worship will develop your integrity? Just since we've been talking. Why do you think worship will develop your integrity? Based on what integrity is?
Well, you were talking about the steps to get to the Holy of Holies, where worship is, and you said when we